Protests last summer at the Capitol failed to stop new restrictions on abortion. Now opponents of the law went around in the courtroom. A federal judge ruled the new Texas abortion law is unconstitutional.
That new law was set to take effect tomorrow. Today's ruling blocks that from happening.
The lawsuit challenged two provisions of the law. One added new requirements for buildings that house abortion clinics. And the law requires doctors who perform abortions to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital. District Judge Lee Yackel rejected that idea in the ruling, saying admitting privileges are of no consequence when a patient has a medical emergency. Judge Yackel wrote, by law, no hospital can refuse to provide emergency care.
Today's decision does not end this fight, of course. State officials are expected to file an emergency appeal of the order to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans. Both opponents of the law and even some supporters say the new rules would force many of the state's abortion clinics to shut down. KXAN's Lindsey Bransom has been following the judge's decision today very closely, all day long, in fact, and spoke with both supporters and opponents.
New abortion restrictions will not go into effect Tuesday. For now, the law will stay the same, keeping clinics like this one in East Austin open. Good news for supporters like Sarah Wheat, who's the VP of Communications for Planned Parenthood in Austin.
The reality is that it is a safe procedure, and it is done in health centers such as this that are have patient care as a top priority.
Wheat says a requirement that doctors have admitting privileges at a hospital within 30 miles of the abortion clinic would force the closure of a third of the clinics in Texas, including Austin. Joe Poyman with the Texas Alliance for Life says this is an issue of protecting women's health.
We're trying to raise the safety standards in abortion facilities across the state of Texas to the level of other type of health facilities.
The Texas Attorney General's office argues the law protects women and the life of the fetus.
And the goal of House Bill 2 was to raise the standard of care to the level of ambulatory surgical centers and other types of medical practice that are comparable to abortion.
What we're doing is we're putting huge barriers in place between women and these services, and particularly for low-income and rural women. It's very concerning because it does put their health at risk.
Lindsey Branson, KXAN News.
Abortion rights advocates cheered today's ruling. The president of the Center for Reproductive Rights says today's decision averted a catastrophic health crisis for women and blamed politicians for pushing for the restrictions. But Texas leaders say the fight is not over. Governor Rick Perry said, "We will continue fighting to implement laws passed by elected officials of our state, laws that reflect the will and values of Texans."